Hi everybody, welcome to the training camp wrap-up show presented by UPMC Health Plan. I am Missi Matthews. The Steelers just finished their final practice before heading to Canton, Ohio to play in the Hall of Fame game on Thursday against the Cowboys. Let's head down to the field. Gilbert is joining us live, and it looked like you guys as a position group were doing a little extra work after practice. What were you finishing up with?
We just finished just looking at what the offense may do, different movements, different shifts, just so we could just stay tight on it and just have a good idea of what might be coming on from Canton, also what we'd be seeing in practice.
Does it feel like it's a game week in terms of the preparation and actually having a preseason this year?
It kind of didn't. It was kind of like 2 camp days. Today felt more game-like than Monday, but at the end of the day, every day you should prepare like it's a game. So we just came out here and just had a great day as a defense, and I'm excited for Thursday.
You played in Akron. Are you excited to head back to Ohio for this game?
Yeah, it's kind of sentimental, man. The Hall of Fame was one of the first places I went before I committed to Akron. That's one of the places they take us, all the commits first. So going back there is just kind of reminiscing to me, so I'm excited to go back to Ohio and maybe have some of the people from Akron come, and also my parents coming up to just watch me, so I'm excited.
In terms of you personally, after dealing with some injuries last season, how do you feel camp is going for you, and what are you working to improve on as we head down this journey of the preseason 4 games this year?
Personally, I feel like it's going pretty good. There's always things you can work on as a player, but for my back, I mean, it's healthy. I'm feeling good. I also got to continue to do my little routine every day to keep that going, so I could be able to be longer this season. That's my biggest thing, just to keep going and have my back healthy for the season. So that's one of the things I'm pretty much focused on as well, continue to strengthen and sharpen my skills for linebacker.
Okay, well, we love to hear that. Stay healthy and best of luck on Thursday. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much, Missi. Thanks for having me.
Of course. All right, that was Gilbert down on the field. Let's head over now to Bob Labriola to recap the Steelers' final practice here at Heinz Field.
Very interesting day at Heinz Field today, especially if you are a fan of defensive takeaways. And it started with the very first play of 7 shots. Alex Highsmith, who has had an outstanding training camp, in my opinion, continues to flash. This time, however, it was with an interception. You know, one of the things about the Steelers' outside linebackers is that they will occasionally be used to drop into coverage, with the whole idea being so that the quarterback really doesn't always know for sure whether guys are going to be attacking the backfield or dropping into coverage. The most famous recent example of that, of course, was Kurt Warner's mistake in Super Bowl 43 that turned into James Harrison's 100-yard pick 6 at the end of the first half in Super Bowl 43. Highsmith, Ben Roethlisberger was the quarterback too, so it's not like he was taking advantage of an inexperienced player. Highsmith, it was almost exactly like the Harrison play in that Highsmith dropped into that same area where he was in the way of those tight inside slants and made the interception. Other defensive players to make interceptions today, a very nice play, I thought, by Cam Sutton along the sideline. He cut in front of the receiver, tipped the ball into the air, never lost sight of it, and then was able to control it and come down with the ball 2 feet in bounds. Very nice interception. Mark Gilbert, one of the guys who was an undrafted rookie, signed right after the draft. He's one of those guys who may be in the mix for a lot of different roles on this team. We're going to have to see how the rest of this summer plays out, these 4 preseason games. Mark Gilbert could be in the mix maybe later in this training camp period to get a shot at nickel corner, slot corner, whatever you want to call it. The Steelers are also looking for depth at the outings that Terrell Austin talked about, was that if they're really not excited about any of the options that they have at slot corner to replace Mike Hilton, who left as an unrestricted free agent, there is a very real possibility that James Pierre, another guy who has been playing really well, he had an interception today, another one, that James Pierre could assume the outside spot opposite Joe Hayden, and then they would move Cam Sutton inside to take the slot corner position. So there's a lot of moving parts really left here at cornerback. Some people believe that James Pierre is competing against Cam Sutton, where the way I look at it is James Pierre is actually competing against all the guys trying to replace Mike Hilton, because if none of those guys shows or endears himself to the coaches, then Pierre could end up as the starter at outside cornerback. Another position I think that is going to be interesting to watch in this preseason opener, and I kind of touched on it a little bit in talking about Alex Highsmith, is outside linebacker. Now, one of the things Mike Tomlin said was that all the young guys are going to play against the Dallas Cowboys. The guys who will not play are going to be the ones, as he has once referred to them as, having contusions of the birth certificate. So if you're not an old guy or a highly experienced player like Ben Roethlisberger, Cam Hayward, or Joe Hayden, you can expect to be on the field in Canton. Now, one of the developments late in practice today, Cassius Marsh, one of those guys competing for a backup outside linebacker spot, came up a little bit gimpy. We haven't had an opportunity to hear Mike Tomlin talk about it, but it looked to me through the binoculars as something on his right leg, maybe a right knee, right thigh. And again, we don't know how serious that is, but if that keeps him out of the game on Thursday, TJ Watt will not play. I cannot imagine TJ Watt playing. If Cassius Marsh is also not available, I don't think they're going to play Alex Highsmith for a whole long time, because he is a significant player looking forward to the regular season. So we're going to see a lot of guys out there who may have an opportunity to, put themselves in the middle of this competition. One other thing that I'll be watching on Thursday night in Canton is the punting duel. And that's always special teams specialists are always easy to pay attention to and to kind of grade in these preseason games, because there's usually two guys going for one job, and it's not a difficult thing to chart how they perform. Now, Mike Tomlin at his news conference today said that the team has not yet really decided how they're going to use the punters, but they will use both of them in Canton. Now, the obvious two options would be either splitting it by halves, or sometimes, because a team might have more opportunities or be forced to punt more times in one half or the other.
Practice following that Hall of Fame game on Saturday and Sunday. You can head to Steelers.com to reserve your ticket. We'll have complete coverage from Canton coming your way. Thanks for joining us, everybody, here on the Wrap-Up Show. Have a great night.